Ang Philippine Information Agency diri sa Western Visayas nagadulong sa inyo sang PIA Kapihan Region-wide.
This is Leonard Pineda of the Philippine Information Agency Iloilo, welcoming you to this special edition of PIA Kapihan Region-wide here in Western Visayas. Well, I am joined today by no other than the spokesperson of the Department of Foreign Affairs. We have Assistant Secretary Charles Jose. Sir, welcome to PIA Kapihan Region-wide. Welcome to Iloilo City.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here.
Okay. Sir, I understand one of your major objectives in coming here is in line with the campaign of the department regarding the West Philippine issue, so that it would be brought down to the grassroots, especially that it has implications not only in the security but also in the economy of the country. Sir, pwede po ba nating bigyan ng background or ang ating mga listeners and viewers regarding the West Philippine issue?
Yes, no? Tama ka doon. Unang-una nga, meron kaming sinasalawang information campaign. Umikot kami sa buong bansa para part ng aming information dissemination tungkol dito sa West Philippine Sea issue. Gusto namin i-raise yung awareness ng ating mamamayan tungkol dito sa napaka-importante issue na to. At the same time to garner yung support ng ating mga tao behind sa position and actions ng ating pamahalaan tungkol nga dito sa West Philippine Sea issue.
Sir, ano po ba yung mga isla na bumubuo nito at how important is the West Philippine Sea to the country?
Well, yung current issue ngayon ay tungkol sa karagatan, specifically yung arbitration case na final natin. It's about yung maritime entitlements ng mga claimant countries and coastal states alinsunod sa provisions ng UNCLOS o yung 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, na ito ang nag-govern sa maritime entitlements ng mga coastal states. Ang case natin ay hindi tungkol sa territorial sovereignty. Hindi natin tinutukoy dito o dinidetermine kung sino ang may-ari ng mga iba't ibang features, no? At ang case natin ay hindi rin tungkol sa maritime boundary delimitation, kundi ay gusto natin linawin ng arbitral tribunal kung hanggang saan ba talaga ang mga maritime zones sang-ayon sa provisions ng UNCLOS.
Regarding the 9-line, which I believe is the basis of China's claim to the West Philippine Sea, can you expound more about this particular basis?
Ang origin niya, no, noong 1947, yung under ng Kuomintang pa, no, ang China, nagpalabas sila ng map na merong originally nga 11 dashes yan, no? So nagsimula siya 9-line and in-adopt yung People's Republic of China, no? Noong 2009 lang, tsaka na sila pilit sa UNCLOS, yung mapa nila na may ganitong 9-line. So, agad, no, yung international community, lalo-lalo na yung mga claimant countries sa China, sa South China Sea, ay question ka agad yung 9-line claim na yun at sinasabi anong basis nito, no? And in fact, up to now, no, hindi naman ini-explain ng China kung anong basis nitong 9-line claim nila. Agad lang sila sa 9-line yun o kiniklaim nila lahat ng karagatan sa loob ng 9-line. So until now, no, walang linaw na binibigay ang China tungkol dyan. At saka, papansinin natin na yung 9 dashes na yun ay walang geographical coordinates, no? Wala sila sinasabi, ito yung longitude, latitude, ilang degrees, no, minutes. Walang ganun. So, it's a movable, no? Talagang, it's a, kumbaga, very arbitrary, no? And no basis under international law. Kaya nga natin sina-challenge yan sa harap ng UNCLOS.
Sir, ano po, aside from, of course, you mentioned UNCLOS, ano pa po ba yung violation ng China sa right ng Pilipinas regarding sa West Philippine Sea?
Well, una-una, yun nga, yung 9-line claim nila, well, it's a problem. Kasi nga, it infringes, no, on our sovereign rights and jurisdiction over the maritime areas that we claim under UNCLOS. And at the same time, especially recently, ang China, no, nagsasagawa ng ilang mga actions na medyo assertive, no, and medyo forceful para to assert yung claim nila dito sa South China Sea under nga nitong line claim. For example, ano itong mga aggressive behavior ng China? Una-una, very recently, no, may mga reclamation work, no, na ginagawa nila. Lumabas recently yung sa Fiery Cross Reef, sa Kagitingan Reef. And aside from that, mayroong ginagawang reclamation work ng China sa Johnson South Reef, sa Gavin Reef, Quarteron Reef, McKinnon and Hughes, no? Lahat ito under ng ating EEZ at lahat ito under ng ating Kalayaan Island Group. So, naapektuhan yung sovereign rights natin and jurisdiction.
With all these actions being implemented by China, sir, ano po yung response ng Philippine government?
Well, ang approach natin dyan ay we're being guided by the principles of peaceful settlement of disputes at saka yung advocacy natin for the primacy of rule of law. So tayo, no, we are adopting itong peaceful and rules-based settlement itong dispute natin. So, habang meron tayong final na arbitration case, no, ito yung legal track natin para magkaroon ng durable solution itong maritime dispute sa South China Sea. Kasi once na nagbigay ng decision ng arbitral tribunal, no, clarify nila, for example, in-invalidate nila. Sinabi nila sa China, wala talagang basis itong 9-line claim nyo, kaya pwedeng, kung pwede, tanggalin nila kasi walang basis sa conclusion. So that will be the established order, no? And yun ang magiging basihan, no? Para sa lahat ng bansa na may claim dito. O sinasabi ng UNCLOS, hanggang dito lang tayo, 200 as measured from the baseline. So dapat iurong na ng China yung 9-line claim nila. So yung isang track natin, yung legal track. And at the same time, meron tayong ina-adapt na diplomatic track, no? The Philippines is working very closely with ASEAN for the early conclusion of the Code of Conduct in the South China Sea. So ngayon, nakipag-negotiate ang ASEAN with China for a legally binding Code of Conduct. So pag meron na tayong Code of Conduct, no, siya mag-govern ng behavior. Sasabihin niya kung ano yung mga actions, activities na pwede o hindi pwedeng gawin. So, and that gusto natin mapadali, no? Ngayon, undergoing ng negotiations, but gusto natin ma-fast track, mapabilis para...
Gaano po ba katagal yung arbitration tribunal process na po ito?
Yung arbitration case, ang status ngayon niya, no? Last March 30 this year, nasubmit ang Philippines ng ating written arguments. And then binigyan ng court ang China until December 15, which was the other day, no? Lumagpas yung December 15, walang sinasubmit na counter-arguments ang China. So, we expect the court to proceed with the deliberation ng merits of the case based on the submission of the Philippines. And we expect the court to be, anytime now, no? Magbigay sila ng additional questions para sa atin, para sagutin. And we also anticipate the court maybe to request us to appear at The Hague for oral arguments, and we will do that. So we also anticipate the court maybe early first quarter or first half of 2016 to hand down its decision.
Sir, paano po kung if China further refuses to participate in this legal action against them? What could we do about this, or what could the arbitral tribunal do about this?
Well, right from the beginning, when we filed the arbitration case against China, we notified them and we invited them to participate in the arbitration process. But they already said at the beginning that they will not participate. And recently, as 1 week ago, they reiterated their position that they will not participate. So with or without China's participation, the arbitration case will proceed. And the Philippines is determined to see the arbitration case proceed to its logical conclusion. Ngayon, ang decision ng court, since both the Philippines and China are both signatories, no, to UNCLOS, so yung decision ng court will be binding to both the Philippines and China. The only question is walang enforcement power yung arbitral tribunal o yung UNCLOS, no, to enforce its decision. But the way we see it, China, if it wants to be seen as a responsible member of the international community, it will be to its interest, no, to respect and comply with the decision of the arbitral tribunal.
Sir, regarding these actions, no, hindi po ba naapektuhan, or how has this affected our relationship with China, like for example with OFWs, with our tourism?
Noong 2011, no, September, President Aquino paid a state visit to China. And during the visit, he had a meeting with the Chinese President Hu Jintao. And they reached agreement, no, that both sides agreed that the South China Sea issue is not the sum total of our relationships. And they agreed that the two countries should not allow the South China Sea to affect the overall bilateral relations. And on our part, the part of the Philippines, our position is we are willing to extract and isolate the South China Sea issue and deal with it separately, and at the same time promote and strengthen our other areas of cooperation with China, especially in the areas of trade and investment, tourism, cultural exchanges, and people-to-people contacts.
Although po you mentioned somehow the Chinese government has mellowed down regarding their stand on the West Philippine Sea, paano po, no, kung hindi po mag-prosper yung legal action, will this result in military conflict in the future?
Well, for example, no, the Philippines will respect and abide by decision of the court, no, whatever it may be, whether it be favorable to us or unfavorable to us. In the same way that we expect China also to respect and abide by decision of the court, even if its decision is not favorable to them. And of course, the Philippines does not pose any kind of threat, no, to China. We don't have the wherewithal to be a threat to China. So we will continue to pursue yung peaceful track natin, peaceful settlement of disputes, and we will continue to strengthen our bilateral relations with China despite this China Sea.
Sir, how is the support of other countries regarding our actions? Like for example, yung mga neighbor countries natin sa ASEAN.
It's very encouraging, no? We have been getting very strong support from the international community for our peaceful approach to this dispute. Almost all countries from the US, Japan, Korea, ASEAN, Europe, EU, they all agree to our approach, peaceful settlement, and they support the arbitration case that we filed because this will bring a durable solution to the South China Sea issue.
Sir, here in our country, do we have a common stand regarding this issue?
I think all sectors of the Philippine society, they all agree that in the government's approach for a peaceful settlement of the dispute. Although we can hear other segments of the society saying that at the same time we should continue our bilateral negotiations and consultations with China, and that we just shelve the issue of sovereignty and go for joint development. It's very common to hear these two arguments, but of course we have rough answer to these arguments. On the bilateral negotiations, regrettably, China has set quite impossible preconditions before we can sit down for bilateral negotiations and consultations. They said that we should accept and recognize their indisputable sovereignty over the South China Sea, which is difficult to do. We cannot do that. And we view the South China Sea issue as a multilateral problem, and we cannot adopt a bilateral approach to a multilateral problem. With regard to the joint development, of course we agree to a joint development. But first we should clarify saan yung area na pwede mag-joint development. Kasi as of now, no, yung mga areas na identify ng China for joint development ay puro nasa loob ng EEZ natin. You know? So it's important to have a clarification from the arbitral tribunal kung alin ba talaga ang sa atin. No? Once we are clear with that, then we can identify yung areas outside our EEZ kung saan pwede tayo mag-joint development.
Asek, bilang ordinary citizens naman po dito sa Pilipinas, no, how can we help the government regarding how to address this particular problem or this issue?
Importante no na maintindihan no ng ating mga mamamayan kung ano ba yung at stake no dito sa issue na so tulad ng nabanggit ko nung umpisa, this is an issue that should concern every Filipino because of the implications on the economy and security of the country, which will affect not only the present generation of Filipinos but future generations as well. Kaya nga meron kaming information campaign to raise awareness. Para sa amin, sapat na, no, na naiintindihan ng ating mga tao yung issue, naiintindihan nila kung ano yung mga pinaglalaban natin. And importante rin na makuha natin yung mga support ng ating mamamayan behind sa policy and actions ng ating pamahalaan.
ASEC Jose would have a scheduled meeting with our local press. So at this point, kukunin ko na lang po ang inyong mensahe para sa ating mga kabayan dito sa Iloilo and the rest of Western Visayas.
Opo, no? Panawagan po sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Iloilo at importante po itong West Philippine Sea issue. Napaka-importante po ito para sa economy ng ating bansa at napaka-importante po sa ating security. Napakayaman po ang South China Sea, no, sa natural resources, both living and non-living. Nandiyan po ang mga marine resources and beneath that yung mga oil and gas and minerals. So ang pinaglalaban po natin ay we are only defending what is ours. So we hope na you will be informed and you would support the Philippine government's action and policies with regard to the South China Sea.
Maraming salamat po, Assistant Secretary Charles Jose. And sir, maraming salamat po. Welcome ulit sa Iloilo. And this ends our PIA Kapihan Region-wide.